You're told that no, if typically if someone is told that um, you another person wants to do something that doesn't seem practical to said person, then they'll say, "Oh, you can't do that. Live in reality. You can't do this. Live in reality. You can't be this or live in reality. If you think anything else, you're delusional." I don't know why I just switched accents. Sorry. Essentially, I think that's bullshit, and I also think reality is bullshit. Now, why? Because saying I think it's more. Reality is a limit. You're saying this exists, this doesn't. This can happen, this cannot. The end. There's no exceptions, there's no twists, there's no turns, there's no anything, because that's how life works. That's reality. Except no, it's not at all in any way, shape, or form. Reality, if you made yourself believe that, like a good percentage of people have, that I've met at least, that I've had personal experience with, then you're going to have a very miserable life. Because there's also a little bit of self-torture in there, because it's like, I don't know why that one said, sorry. Okay. There's a little self-torture in there, because it's like, oh, I can't do that, I can't achieve my dream because I have to live in reality. That's what you've most likely learned from someone else, and then just adapted to. And then you were like, fine, I have to live in reality. I have to conform by these rules. I have to be this, and I have to dress like this, and I have to smell like this, and I have to do this, and I have to... You get it. It's like setting a limit for yourself. And I think that sucks so much balls. Because the truth that I have found, at least, because I tend to think reality is different for everyone. Everyone has their own and lives in it. And some, I don't, okay. Some I don't consider good. I would never personally choose that kind of reality where it's complete, what I just said, self-torture, this, you have to do this, you have to be this, you have to be just like, sheeple. The definition of sheeple. There you go. That's all I got for that one. Okay. Moving to the next one. Reality where it's like, oh, well, dragons don't exist, and that is a fact. Oh, well, unicorns don't exist, and that is a fact. Oh, well, this god, or these gods, or goddesses and things don't exist, and that is a fact. Spirits don't exist, and that is a fact. Okay, now, like I said, everyone lives in their own reality, and they can see that as their reality. They can believe that. But everyone expects reality to only be one. Only to have one reality. Everyone. No one... That is going to torture some people. Because no one can have the same reality as another person. That's like physically impossible. Psychologically, rather. But same thing, because brains, chemistry, and shit. Okay, whatever. Yeah, it's psychologically impossible, because your mind cannot think just like someone else's. And you can't... Oh my god. You can't have all of the exact same experiences as someone else in modern society. And you can't have the same spiritual / psychological, whatever the hell you want to call it, experiences as other people. So if someone met a dragon, and this is why you're going to need an open mind if you're on my channel, by the way. If someone met a dragon, and then they were like, oh yeah, dragons are real. And someone who's never met a dragon, and was told all their life that dragons don't exist, then they're going to seem crazy to that person. And then that person's going to be like, oh, you have to live in reality. You need to grow up. You can't meet dragons, blah, 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 blah. And that person who said they met a dragon could have had a completely normal life before they did so. And then they met a dragon and it apparently ruined their life. That sounds like a wonderful, magical, beautiful thing. And then the one douchebag can ruin it for them. I just don't like that. I don't like... Everyone has their own reality. I genuinely do believe that. Everyone has their own moral points. Everyone has their own rules to existence. But once people start forcing theirs on other people, that so they can be like mentally healthy. That I think is just horrible. Just like actually horrible. Like people who have this religion and they start forcing it on people with other religions or other beliefs, or atheists, so other beliefs, but because they disbelief is a belief. There's a belief in disbelief. Sorry, just created a paradox. Don't go in it, or through it. I don't. Whatever. Just don't talk about it. Okay. But people who are forcing their beliefs, what they think is true, on other people or other beings, isn't good. That's mainly what I hate. And that's mainly what I'm talking about. People who are like, oh, you need to live in reality, this is my standards. And everyone thinks, like a good amount of people seem to think that everyone shares the same reality, when they don't. So they're like, this is my standards, so that means it's your standards. Someone who went to the damn moon and lived to tell the tale, and then some conspiracy theorist who thinks that the moon doesn't exist, or something like that, or the moon is a sticker. Then they're going to be like, oh, well, you are wrong, you are insane, to me. And then that other person who went to the moon is going to be like, and think if that person who went to the moon was set in a group or society full of those people who think the moon doesn't exist and or the moon is a sticker. Think of how bad that would be. Hopefully I've made sense of this. This is just kind of like a random little rant. Fantasy, also, I don't think that there is fantasy, and I don't think that there is... This is me, by the way. This is just what I think. I don't think there is fantasy, and I don't think there is mythical. I don't think there is things that cannot exist, because everything exists. And if you don't know what tulpas are, you should learn. Tulpas, and go to the description below, and there are a bunch of different videos about... a couple different videos about tulpas, something I can't remember the name of, starting with an S, an S, and that is enough, I think. And another video by The Serpent's Key, which is also kind of important and related. It's about evoking fantasy spirits. They exist. Tulpas are thought forms that people can make exist. If you've seen that episode of Supernatural where they have that symbol, which I'm not going to put in this video. I was thinking I could put this in this video and then make someone have a dragon. It's like nothing is impossible. I am dizzy. Okay. I'm talking, and I've been ranting for like the past 10 minutes or so. So that's what I mean. Like, anything can happen. And I found when I try to believe the opposite, I usually end up getting crushed with the thing that I said couldn't happen. That's kind of how my life works, and that's why I'm trying to spread this to you, because if someone is telling you that this certain thing that you love can't be done, or this certain thing that you really like can't exist, or can't... that obviously creates some problems. Just don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. And work harder on whatever you love. Whatever you love. What you enjoy. As long as, preferably, it doesn't hurt anyone else. Because that would not be good. To my extent, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, that's this video. I need to breathe. This video, reality is bullshit. Thank you. If you want to share, if you want to talk with me about it, my description, you can go in the comments below, and or my Instagram or my Twitter, that is also linked in the description below. And until the next time, always and forever, peace and blessed be. Thank you for watching, by the way.